Alright, so just hear me out, guys. Yeah, I know the title is kind of harsh, calling you guys Larpers and everything, but I'm not calling you guys specifically fake gamers for asking for remakes. I'm just really saying that asking for a remake is something that a Larper would ask for. So you're not fully LARPing, but only partially LARPing, if you know what I'm saying, right? No! Well then, just please listen. This thought I have about remakes have been brewing in my head for about a few years now. And every new announcement of a new remake makes it grow more and more. And that is that remakes are ultimately a net negative for the games industry. They stagnate creativity, they're hella greedy, and they disrespect the original game that is being remade. And we as gamers need to stop asking for them because they're doing more harm than good. I am being so serious. So let's start with one example with Infamous. Infamous is a superhero game series released by Sony and Sucker Punch on PlayStation consoles. Started with 1 in 2008 and ended with Second Son in 2014. I like these games so much, especially the first one. The story is well written with great characters and a fantastic twist. The art style is killer with the dark post-apocalyptic but comic booky animated look, and the gameplay is super solid. Snappy controls, fluid movement, amazing feeling, and mechanically sound combat. I love how the enemies react to your powers. I love how you're the only source of color throughout the whole game. I love how powerful you feel, and I love how your basic attack is hit scan and one shot headshot, which Infamous 2 fucked up. Infamous 2 fucked up a lot of things. That game was kinda ass, and it was racist. So seeing that I have so much love for Infamous 1, you might think that I will be excited that Infamous 1 might be remade. And I say to you, no nigga! Heck no. Because I have the same amount of love for Infamous Second Son. I think even more. Because even though the game is not as mechanically solid, it's so pretty. Why would I be excited for a new Infamous game that is not a new Infamous game? Why would I want to go back to the past for a series that have a future? Infamous Second Son sets up its sequel with the Paper Trail DLC, teasing the new villain and the new powers. I want to use the paper power. I want to use other powers. I want a new map, and I want to see Delson's story continue. I do not want to go back to electricity in Empire City. You can't tell me the idea of this remake isn't artistically bankrupt. Think about it. When Disney remakes something, we cry and say they're lazy. But when a game gets remade, we cheer? What? Gamers, come on now. We need some standards. Like, imagine if EA announced that the Titanfall series is coming back from hiatus with a new game, Titanfall 3 -1. Titanfall 2 remake. I kid you not, the people who made that decision at EA are getting pipe bombs in their mailboxes. Or instead, what about Insomniac Games announce a new Sunset Overdrive entry with a Sunset Overdrive remake? Same thing's gonna happen. People are still gonna get pipe bombs in their mailbox. Which may or may not be placed by me, I don't know. Sunset Overdrive is the best game of all time. So if an Infamous remake is real, I'm gonna lose it. You see how remakes kill potentially new games by existing? A dev team can only work on mostly one game at a time. So you can't tell me it's not a waste to work on something that already exists. There are resource, time, and money drain. They stop new games from forming.
But decent. Infamous is an old game that came out 18 years ago. It's outdated. It's not on current platforms. It needs a remake.
Oh my gosh, if you say this, you're an actual LARPer. Number one, Infamous has barely aged a day gameplay wise, and graphics wise, it still looked good in my opinion. The only problem I have with the game is that the vertical movement is kinda trash. Which, hello, every game has its faults. Number two, if you want on current platforms, they could, just port the original game. Number three, the examples that I showed you, Titanfall 2 and Sunset Overdrive, are 10 and 12 years old. So shut up. And number four, if you still think it's outdated, then I gotta show you that's not entirely true. with the two games RE4 and RE4 Remake. So let's be real, Resident Evil is by far the most popular series that has been remade. They have the highest budget, the most marketing, the most hype, and the most fanfare for it. Like legit, the remakes have more talk about it than the actual new games, which is very sad. These remakes have so much admiration from the whole gaming community that I even dabbled into it, but you know, just a little bit, you know, just, you know, like a tiny bit, you know, it's like little.
Move this man! Get the fuck out of here!
So you see, I'm not just hating for the sake of hating. If you ask me if I would recommend any gamer to play Remake 4, that would be a yes. It's an enjoyable action romp with a lot of replay value. It's a very good game. But if you ask me if this remake makes the original obsolete by being better in almost every way,
Fuck no, baby!
yeah, nah. Dude, if you played Remake 4 for at least a little bit, you know that this game is stupid unfair. Leon moves like he got cankles. He got inertia to his movement, which means if you turn sharply, there's a delay, making him kinda unresponsive. And the fact that this man stumbles on any interaction with enemies, no matter how minute the interaction is so annoying. It makes it so easy to get stun locked and comboed by enemies. And speaking of enemies, they are straight demons in this game. They can full on sprint directly towards you and just instantly grab you, which is non-reactable. They would just eat bullets without getting stunned, which is mad unsatisfying. And this damn cosplay plastic knife always be breaking. Oh my freaking gosh. Yeah, I can go on why this fucky wucky game is like this, but let's compare it to the original. Leon is much more responsive when you get the controls down. He's snappy and precise with his movement. The only time he gets stunned is when he actually gets hit, and other than a few enemies, he only gets hit once, so you're not getting jumped. Enemies stop running before they attack, and their attacks are highly telegraphed. Bullets actually stun every time, and many more aspects like this makes the original game have fundamentally better gameplay. The combat in the original is like a well choreographed dance, and the remake is like... yeah. Take the mercenaries mode. The mode where you're just killing and shooting is so freaking good. While in the remake, that shit got no more than 2 hours from me. Even with that lame ass Kaioken power up, bro. That junk did not help at all. It's like a lame dude with a lot of money. No matter how much money you have, if you're lame to your core, then you're still lame. So get this trash ass mode on my face. So there you go. Even though you would think the new game would have better combat, that is not the case. The original release tops it. So, you guys might be asking, why the hell I almost got 200 hours in the new game since I think this game's combat is worse? That's a good question. Now I got you guys. It comes down to multiple factors. The shooting in the new game feels absolutely amazing. I would say it has the best feeling guns out of any game. It encourages replay value to unlock everything. I must have played this game over 6 times trying to unlock everything. It was the closest I ever got to speedrunning. The game has more content within the campaign. The game feels more polished and high budget compared to the original. The modding scene alone probably added 100 hours to my game time. Especially the one that allows you to turn on instant stun on headshots. If I didn't have this, I would not be playing this game. Shit would have been collecting dust and cobwebs like RE9 right now. And overall, the gameplay is still good. And to the unfair parts of the game that I mentioned earlier, bro, I'm a real gamer. I love the pain. I love the struggle. If you're not getting motivated by getting hoed by some BS, then I gotta be honest, you're not a real gamer for real. Look at them demented ass niggas in the Elden Ring community. They'll be looking at you crazy by dying to a boss with a one-shot AoE attack.
Get this trash nigga out my face. You can't do a 2 millisecond frame perfect comeback dodge to avoid the full screen attack? You're garbage.
Honestly bro, don't listen to those people. A person who says that is addicted to pain. Straight VTuber music listeners. I'm not like that, but a bit of unfairness sprinkled in there spices up the game for me. So there you go. Resident Evil 4 and Resident Evil 4 Remake. One is not better than the other. there are pros and cons comparing each other. They are, in my opinion, on equal value as games. So tell me, why did Resident Evil 4 get another edition instead of a new game getting made? Like, think about it. Capcom could have easily made a new game. There is so much RE material you can adapt into a game, like the goated Resident Evil Damnation movie. If you've seen clips of Leon Kennedy fighting multiple tyrants outside, that is where it came from. The movie is by far the best in the movie series, and it lends itself so well to game form. Like, it starts off in a village, then goes to a lab, and ends in a tyrant fight. It has a twist villain, and the story's fire. If you dragged and dropped this new gameplay style into the movie, I'm telling you, instant banger. So tell me, studious perceptive viewer, why didn't they do this or go with another idea? No, it's not for preservation since RE4 has been ported to every console since release. No, it's not for new fans, since if they wanted to play RE4, they would have done it already, and a new game would have attracted more people into the series than a remake. Again, the only argument I see mostly, other than the obvious,
money clone jutsu type shit,
is that the game is outdated. And if you say this to one of the best games of all time, then respectfully, you guys are proving that you're no better than ball and gun gamers, bro. Oh my gosh. Modern games are not objectively better than older games. Fact. A lot of gamers think that the quality of the game relates to how recently it came out, or that games that are old enough are simply unplayable, which is farther from the truth. Unless you don't have access to them, which, yeah, it's unplayable. If you ask me, someone who was born in 2000, was games better back then? I'll say yeah, games were better back then. And I'm not talking about 2017, 2018. I'm talking about 2005. Not to downplay the 2015 to 2019 era of AAA games. That was the last time games across the board was good. But anyways, that PS2 to PS3 generation was so unmatched. Watch, I'm gonna go through a few games that I got downloaded on my PC and tell you how good these games were and when they came out. Number 1, Bully. Everyone knows this Rockstar classic. Top 5 Rockstar game for me, 2005. Crazy Taxi 3, the arcade racer that niggas in their 40s will talk about back in my day. But they're right though. The gameplay of picking up and dropping off passengers is highly addicting, and personally, it has the best driving mechanics of all time, with you shifting between driving and reverse. Adds so much personality and depth to the game, 2001. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4 to American Wasteland. What can I say other than peak controls, excellent mechanics, high skill ceiling, wrapped up in campaigns that are generally good. But let's be real, Underground's the GOAT, top 10 game for sure. 2001 to 2005. Spider-Man Web of Shadows, the Spider-Man game with the best gameplay, flat out. With how many ways you can dismantle someone, it's basically a character action game, much better than the new games. I don't know who the freak called this game bad, man. Story isn't everything, that's why it's a video game. 2008. Wolverine Origins. Come on now, you shouldn't discredit this game, it's legendary. And I'm willing to bet that this game combat is going to be much better than the new Wolverine game. Not only because Wolverine Origins has a solid, fun, fluid combat system, but also because we already see cooldown timers in the new Wolverine game. I already know it's going to be stiff. If somehow the combat in this new game is better than Origins, then I'm going to risk my entire life, my entire existence, by eating Arby's. 2009, Jet Set Radio Future. Excellent platformer with the best vibes out of any game. The music, the art style, the dances cannot be matched. Until Bombers came out, but whatever, it had a 21-year run. 2002, Burnout Revenge. Excluding what I said about Crazy Taxi 3, this is my favorite racing game of all time. Top 5 game for sure. And long story short, it's like how people describe Breath of the Wild and how it completely immerses you into the game. But instead of the peaceful exploration of Hyrule, it has the aesthetic of heart-pumping white boy crackhead energy. You smash and explode cars into each other, causing massive carnage, while the best rock OST is screaming into your ear. Game so good, I had my own emo phase. Wish I can erase my memory so I can play it again for the first time. 2005. SSX3, very stylish snowboarding game with top tier gameplay. It has an amazing art style, and the characters say this in game. Come on now, why not play it? 2003, Tekken 5. You know that the Tekken community said this game is the peak of Tekken. A game that came out on the PS2 20 years ago. Just saying. 2004, Urban Reign. Another top 5 game for me for sure. This game has the best combat system ever. Beats DMC, Dark Souls, Sifu, Ninja Gaiden. I don't give a fuck. You
Fellas can't disagree.
2005. All these games are listed and none of these came out after 2010. They're all golden. You see, if you just open your heart and open your mind and give older games a real chance, then you'll see a ton of quality games lie in front of you. And you'll also know that games are not really outdated, but products of its time. Like any other creative medium, it has eras. The whole industry will shift and evolve over time based on public trends and interest. 90s is RPGs, platformers, and fighting games, while the 2010s is open worlds and cover shooters. Like how we went from funk in the 80s to R&B in the 90s. So if you're like me, who likes arcade racers, extreme sports games, and 3D action beat 'em ups, then you'll gravitate towards that 2000s era. Another example, if you wanted to watch a crime drama about a scientist who turned into a drug kingpin, am I gonna wait for the Breaking Bad remake? That will eventually come, let's be real. No, I'm gonna watch the show that already exists. And I'm guessing literally everyone's gonna do the same thing too, even though it came out close to 20 years ago. So why don't we do it for games? Us gamers, yes, you and me. Not really me, that's all you guys. You got to stop writing off games because they're old. That's just straight up disrespectful. We can't let unfamiliar control schemes and older graphics stop us from enjoying art. We gotta learn to adapt to the game, instead of game companies transforming and adapting these games to us. Because if this keeps up, I fear that the future of gaming will just be stuck in the past. With nothing new truly greenlit, half these games coming out just being remakes, and companies making more money than ever because they just keep selling us the same thing over and over. Look, the ball and gun games are already there. Don't let it infect the rest of gaming. Please, if the game's already good, no matter its age, ask for a port or a faithful remaster. Because I'm so tired of seeing these 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, and 10 out of 10 games getting remade like this. It's such a shame too, to think where that talent, that manpower could be put other than that. So here's a list of what they could do instead. Number 1, good ports. Developers need to port more or all of their games to modern consoles to make them accessible. I'm telling you, if game companies cared about preservation, barely anyone would be asking for remakes. That's how they get you. If they don't fuck up in quality or pricing of the port, people's nostalgia hunger would be quelled. Which, I'm not gonna lie, nostalgia is beating y'all asses. Paying $40 for a BO2 port is crazy. That game is so old that at release it was set in the future, and now it's set in the past. SMH, Activision will never change. Number 2, a safe sequel. You guys thought I was kidding with that Resident Evil Damnation pitch. I am being dead serious when I say Capcom should have made that instead of Remake 4. And they could have gotten away with it copying almost everything from RE4 into the movie, because it was done before. Here's a few examples. AC Rogue, a Black Flag ripoff from everything except from the story and premise. Banger video game. Majora's Mask, made in a year and a half, reused a fuck ton of assets from Ocarina of Time, but is considered to be one of the best Zelda games of all time by the correct side of the fandom. Bro, I'm telling you, this is what I need from my game studios, because I'd rather have something new but familiar that has a chance to be peak than to get a remake of a game that is already a 10 out of 10 best in series and an all-time classic. And if you think game companies can't do this anymore because these examples are over 10 years old, Shadow Generations came out 3 years ago and it's an all-time classic. Come on now, game companies can do whatever they want. Not gonna lie, most remakes should be like this instead. Just think of how much more games we could have with these safe sequels. Sure, we might get a lot of duds, but we're definitely gonna get much more gems. But if somehow you still want a remake, I got you. Number 3, a truly justified remake. If I'm being honest, the concept of a remake is not entirely bad. It's just that the game industry is choosing the wrong games to remake. That's why in my ideal world, the only games that will get remade are the games with fire concepts but come out trash. Sonic community already did this with Project 06. The creator turned a game that was ass into a game that is a must play. That's why I'm telling you, the Sonic community is the GOAT. No other communities are making a whole ass AAA game, bro. Do not slander this community. I will come for you. And another example is Halo 2. Even though that game is not trash and it's actually pretty good, a Halo 2 remake where the scrap concepts turned into a reality would be huge. Could possibly put Halo 2 as one of the greatest games of all time. But instead, the dum-dums at 343 Industries remade Halo 1, a perfectly fine game. Shit looks like a map pack for Halo Infinite. I'm crying. They did no work. There are many more games like that need a remake treatment. But those are only the 2 ones I can think of. Using remakes like this to give another chance to something that turned out to be bad is the best way to use remakes, in my opinion. Actually, I do got another one. Maybe they can remake Destiny's Future. But yeah, that's it. In conclusion, remakes are not good and original games are good. Bye.